Thank you, Mr President. As the New South Wales economy goes from strength to strength, there can be no doubt that Western Sydney is the centre of this growth. The 2018 New South Wales budget puts in motion our government's plans for Western Sydney to expand. As the Treasurer, Dominic Perrottet, has stated, quote, building for Western Sydney of tomorrow or delivering for its people of today. I particularly wanted to welcome the recent budget announcements benefiting the seat of Londonderry in the heart of Western Sydney. Mr President, Deputy President, what is good for Western Sydney is good for Londonderry. The New South Wales budget allocates a record $2 billion to rail and road infrastructure in the Western Sydney region, including the seat of Londonderry. This includes an allocation of $130 million to continue the construction of the M4 Smart Motorway with improved access from St Mary's, serving the community of Western Sydney and Londonderry, a key hub to Londonderry. Rail investments in the region include $648 million for infrastructure and the purchase of a new rail fleet to service Western Sydney. The government is also acting on plans to realise the 30-minute city ambition, including for Western Sydney, starting with $100 million joint funding from commitment between the New South Wales and the Commonwealth governments to support the business case for the North-South Rail Link. This is a game changer for jobs for outer Western Sydney residents and especially in Londonderry. Stage 1 of the new rail link will run from St Mary's to Badgerys Creek, Aerotropolis, via the new Western Sydney Airport, connecting to the existing T1 Western train line at St Mary's, a key hub serving the seat of Londonderry. This ambitious project will connect passengers and future employees to the new Western Sydney Airport and the Western Sydney Parkland City Centre at Badgerys Creek, Bringelly. The government is investing in the future for local employment opportunities benefiting the Londonderry community. One way that this government is investing in the employment for the people of Western Sydney is laying the foundations to deliver the Western Sydney Airport, a state-of-the-art gateway to the world, and to build around it an aerotropolis of jobs, industry and innovation. This is expected to generate around 28,000 jobs and sustain local communities for generations to come, up to 60,000 jobs over the next generation, direct and indirectly generated. In addition, the government is working with the Commonwealth Government to fund a $3.6 billion Western Sydney infrastructure plan, which includes major road upgrades to support the Western Sydney Airport and working on the rail connection. At the local level, the budget sets aside $2 million for roadworks on Mamre Road, St Mary's, and the Northern Road at Landilo. The budget also includes over $5 million in grants to local councils for the area for road and lighting upgrades. The New South Wales Government is working hard to fix the mess that Labor made of the Nepean Hospital. We've announced the largest investment in Nepean Hospital's history. Over $1 billion for Nepean Hospital has been announced, with $576 million for Stage 1 of the Nepean Hospital upgrade and $450 million for Stage 2. Of course, I was born at Nepean Hospital. I'm very proud of this announcement. Nepean Hospital car park will also be upgraded at an estimated cost of $26 million. I'd also like to correct the record with the member for Londonderry's comments on the allocation of major works spending relating to the new school at Jordan Springs. The member for Londonderry posted an image of the budget papers on her Facebook page telling the public that Jordan Springs Public School would receive nothing in this budget. This is not true. Anyone who can read the budget papers can see it's on the program. The government will go to market for contractors to bid for the work on the project, including Jordan Springs. To allow for competitive bidding, the government doesn't list how much money we've budgeted for on each project, but the budget still lists the project. It's 101 of budget reading. I've been informed by the Minister for Western Sydney, Stuart Ayres, that construction on Jordan Springs Public School will begin later this year once the contract has been awarded. So the member for Londonderry does seem rather confused. But perhaps the member for Londonderry has been distracted from working for her constituents. She clearly has some serious questions to answer about the appalling public political assassination.
Point of order. Point of order. Point of order. It's reflecting on a member in the other place. He has clearly commenced that attack on that member, and I can talk through, as you know, Mr. President.
If you threaten, I'll put you on a call order. We're not going to go through what we went through the last session. The member will not reflect on a member in the other place.
I refer to reports in the Sydney Morning Herald on 8th of August. I'm quoting the reports. The bitter Emma Hassar row has spread, with Ms Hassar accusing state Labor parliamentary colleague, understood to be the Shadow Minister Prue Carr, of deliberately isolating her and excluding her from the media events in her own electorate.
Point of order. The member clearly is continuing on this theme of wanting to reflect on the member in the other place by reading through an article that appeared in the newspaper. That's clearly what he is doing.
Thank you, Mr President. Clearly the member for Londonderry has been too busy undermining her Labor colleague and now prepares to run...
Point of order. Point of order. The member clearly is flouting what is now, or perhaps would have been the third attempt